Spoz, you've got a connection to Acorns going back a few years. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your connection to Acorns.
Yeah, I'm a poet, sort of, and musician and whatnot. And myself and my wife Claudia, we've been doing bits and pieces with Acorns for it's got to be a good 15 years or something, I guess. We just knew Dee. So our kids went to the same school and all that, and of course they've all grown up now and whatnot. So there was that link, common link to start with there. And then Dee said, "Oh, you want to pop down Acorns?" And I didn't even know it existed at that time, which is, I suppose, kind of. It's one of those things. Unless you do have connections, you wouldn't know it's there. So yeah, we came down and it was just felt like a really uplifting kind of place. And I started doing one or two little bits and pieces, one or two little poetry workshops and such like with siblings and whatnot. And I guess you kind of once you sample I'm coming in with my food metaphors now. When you sample the buffet that is Acorns, you just keep coming back and really get involved and become part of that Acorns family. And it is a family, it really is. And all the families that come here as well, you just get involved, and it's a great place to be around as well. So yeah, we've kind of dropped in periodically. My wife Claudia volunteers here quite regularly now, and she's in the Acorns choir as well, which again is just great, because I remember back in the day, and I think there's a fair few people, let's be completely honest, it was a lot of fun, the choir. And that was the emphasis. And now it's like, whoa, hang on a minute, these guys are really, really good, and they are phenomenal. So yeah, it's just great to be around it all.
And you're here at the Fete. What are you doing today at the Fete?
Well, I've just helped out put up gazebos and get stalls ready. We've got the stall because my wife Claudia and her friend Heather, both in the choir, doing the Great Wall of China trek in October. So I've been helping with some of the fundraising there, and I read the Acorns poem, the All Those Years of Acorns poem, which I read earlier on, just before the choir cracked into their marvellous set of songs.
Fantastic. So it sounds like you do a little bit of everything basically at Acorns, or you have done over the past 15 years. Is there any particular memory over the past 15 years that particularly stands out at Acorns, whether it's an event or a fete or anything like that stands out?
Well, there's so many, to be fair. I mean, a lot of the events at the Tally Ho Club with the choir, and I think the one year I ended up doing All You Need Is Love or something, and getting the whole place to join in with the da 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 bits, and that was quite a sight to behold. But I think some of the really lovely memories is working with the young people who are here, and I'll never forget this one lad. All he wanted to do was be a rapper, and that was great. And I was doing a little workshop with one or two of the young people here, and he was really, really good, to the point where I think I ended up just doing some beatboxing while he rapped over the top of it, and stuff like that really stays with you. So there's so many different memories, and okay, there's one or two that are a little bit sad, but ultimately it's a celebration of life. I know that sounds a little cliche, but ultimately that is exactly what it is. So it's just great to be part of it.
Great. And we've been asking people in this caravan if they've got any particular fond memories of growing up, of childhood, and were there any particular TV programmes or music that you listened to growing up?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Sadly, this is no good for radio or blogs, but as you can see, I have a bit of a Mohican haircut. I used to love all the old 70s punk, but for me, Bowie was the music that I grew up with and loved. And TV, I think if anyone of my age doesn't say they didn't love Tiswas, they're lying. Tiswas was fantastic, and in fact it was almost a religious kind of thing to do on a Saturday morning. You'd get up, have your breakfast quickly, watch Tiswas. Sometimes you'd stick around for Tarzan straight after, or not. Hey, that's hey, the memories, Tarzan. And then for me and my friends, we used to, especially in the summer, just disappear up the Licky Hills and the Beacon Hill and just spend a whole day, just young kids. And we, you know, I think young people get a bad rap these days, and probably always have. And I suppose looking back, I suppose I was a little bit naughty and did a few things that I shouldn't have done. But you know what? We were okay. We were good kids. So yeah, you know, it's just all part of growing up. And I was born in Rubery, so we looked up at the Beacon Hill, and we had the castle up the Beacon. To the extent where I ended up not that long ago writing a poem about the castle up the Beacon for Radio WM. So yeah, some of these memories stick with you, and then later on in life you go, "Ooh, that was good. Let's write about it." Well, certainly that's what I do.
And talking about writing, you've written a poem about or for acorns, is that correct?
Yeah, 4 acorns really. I remember Dee asked me a while ago, I think it was the 21st anniversary of Acorns, and then she said, "You know, you did that poem for the 21st anniversary. Well, now it's the 25th. And I went, okay, so I changed 21st to 25th. Then she said, "You know, we did the 25th, we got the 30th now." I says, "I'll tell you what, how about we make it a little more generic and have all those years of acorns?" And she went, "Good idea. We don't have to change it each year then." So yeah, that's what I did.
And could we get a taste of the poem now, or maybe
Yeah.
a rendition of the poem now?
Yeah,
Is that
it's
okay?
about it's about a couple of minutes
Yeah,
long, if
that's
all
fantastic.
right.
No,
Yeah,
brilliant.
so so here we go. It's called All Those Years of Acorns. All those years of tears and laughter, memories made and shared for a shorter ever after. Some sad, though more than most made happy. Like that funky disco room with a certain cheeky chappie, or a timeless smile on a daughter's face that makes Acorns that special place. A place families would rather evade, but that's just the way that some hands have to be played. A sprint instead of a stroll, a fraction instead of one whole, a focus on life, however short it may be, with Acorns providing toast, biscuits and tea. All those years of love and support through fundraising activities like functions and sport, dinners and music and numerous events, some in hotels and others in tents. From hard grafting to rafting and a million daft things, raffle draws for the cause and the revenues that brings. From sponsored eating exploits and other acts of gluttony to grannies with jams and pickles and chutney. From brownies and guys to scouts and cubs, to the guys with the dominoes and darts in the pubs, and our network of shops, the list never stops, reselling your trousers and jackets and tops, the numerous things that one can recycle, handbags by Gucci, CDs by George Michael. All those years of Acorns volunteers, those true pioneers who keep it all going, from Cottridge to Worcester via Halesowen, from Walsall to Sellyoke via King's Heath, such dedication that beggars belief. All those years of care and attention, trying to make sense of what defies comprehension, a place for relief from the stress and the strife, a place for reflection, a place for life.
There you go. Spoz, thank you very much for joining me.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks very much.